Greetings, you sexy bastards. Today I'm doing another little update video. Um, let's see, what is today's date? I don't know if I can check. I think it's the 26th of January, February, March, April, May, June, July? Is it July right now? Yeah. Yeah, it's July. Um, so last time we talked, I was going to that Pinecone convention. I went. It was super cool. I should have that's actually, yeah, I got that vlog where we went up there, we partied, we did the convention. I came back, I gave a speech about potential applications from the Pinecone convention in actual like business, in a construction business, in the construction context. I don't know if I got a recording of me actually giving the speech, but I think I have a recording of one of the practices. So maybe I'll throw that on here, but maybe not. We'll see, as always. But yeah, so what's next? Well, at the beginning of this month, or around the 10th, I was saying, okay, hey, app is done. The next step is to get my iOS certification and to upload my app to the App Store. And I have done neither of those, and the end of the month is coming, and I'm about to go to Arizona for a swing dance convention with a bunch of my friends. We're staying at an Airbnb. It's gonna be super fun. I might do a little vlog action for that, which could be fun. But yeah, so I'm super behind on all of my goals. I feel like I had a month and a half where I was just like making crazy progress. Actually, 2 months where I finished my DevSlips education. I figured out how to do LLMs in the span of like 2 weeks, which was an absolute grind while I was working construction. And then, man, at the beginning of those 2 weeks, I was like, it was just this big mystery. And at the end of the 2 weeks, it was like I was drawing out this whole diagram for my actual workflow. I should show you guys that. That was really cool. And then actually like taking that whole diagram that I created one day in this right before the Springs Spartan race. My buddy was at lunch with a friend of his, and I came with him because he drove me to Springs, and I sat at a little desk in some cafe in Colorado Springs, and I just fucking drew this whole diagram, and I was like, holy shit. And I spent a few hours talking to ChatGPT, bringing all my 2 weeks of research together, had that plan, and then a month went by. I brought that plan into reality. I created this app. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then the last month, or I guess the last 2 or 3 weeks, since the 10th of July, which was literally the day that I had everything I wanted working. At that point, it's just progress has freaking come grinding to a halt. I think to some degree that's out of my control. I've been making submission after submission to the App Store, and they keep rejecting it. And I'm like, how about this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, how about this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, ah. So I've been going through making changes, just kind of iteration after iteration, and keeping consistent with that for the last 3 weeks. That's kind of sucked though. It's been very tedious. I'm so behind on my reading. I've been doing audiobooks, so that's been huge. And I think since I've been doing the audiobooks, I'm still at a rate of one book a week. But again, that's not going doing too much of a deep dive into each audiobook. That's just kind of getting some rough ideas and the rough idea of the book into my head. Although I got Psycho-Cybernetics was one of the books that I read, and I did some notes on that. Letting Go, that was really good. I didn't take notes on that. I read half of it and listened to half of it. And that was a really good book. I've applied a lot of that book. I think has been one of the books that I've had the most practical application from. So, it's been good. And I think that's kind of a point of the one book a week. It isn't to go deep dive into each book and fully extract everything that it has to offer. Instead, it's to hit a bunch of books, get a bunch of general ideas kind of sitting up here, and then over time those ideas will surface as they're needed because they're kind of sitting in my subconscious. And then since I'm doing a book a week, I'm getting through enough books to where I can kind of pick and choose, okay, which ones do I want to like really do a deep dive in. So really enjoying that. I have about 6 hours of flights today going from Monterey, San Francisco to Arizona. So I'll try to read, at least finish one of the books that I'm reading, The 50th Law by Robert Greene. Really fascinating book. It's essentially all of Robert Greene's kind of core ideas applied to 50 Cent and the situation that he grew up in and how he got out of it, and then how he succeeded in the music and business world. Really fascinating stuff. So anyway, that's kind of the reading situation, business situation. Trying to get that app on the App Store still. It's going to take as long as it takes, I guess. I just got to be persistent and keep on making whatever changes they want me to make. It's definitely frustrating, though, that it's like it's taking almost as long to just get this app onto the App Store as it was to make the app. And then that's also like I haven't been able to really go in and make additions or updates or add new features that I've wanted to add, because I don't want to make a bunch of changes and then have to submit a new version and then have to make sure I cut out all the changes that are incomplete or have potential bugs, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a pain. And I really do miss actually working on the app itself. I also wanted to get my resume together. That's not happening, or that hasn't happened. I wanted to start applying to jobs by now. I haven't done any of that. I want to get that certificate. I don't even know where to get the iOS certificate from, if I'm being honest. I spent like, oh my goodness, submitting your items for review. We noticed an issue, so it just got rejected again. That's pain, but it is what it is. So yeah, I motherfucker. I have no idea where to get that certificate. It's somewhere on the internet. DevSlopes is saying like, "Hey, get your certificate," and I'm like, "Where, man?" So that kind of sucks. And then I gotta get that at some point. Figure that whole thing out. And then I'm going to the Swing Dance Convention. That's gonna take until August, and then beginning of August I move out. I've got 3 days to move out, and then I don't have anywhere to live for like 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna be bouncing between friends' houses, trying to find places to store all my stuff, either just find a friend's garage that's relatively empty, or try to buy like a storage unit or something, a little temporary place to store all my stuff. And then at that point, it's like routines are going to be out of the window until the 17th of August. And then it's like I only have a few weeks before classes start. So I think during that time, during those 2 weeks, that's where I'm going to really focus on, I guess, doing more of the boring stuff. I won't have my PC, so it'll be hard to work on the app, but I don't know. I'll focus on like getting that business side of stuff set up, maybe making a website, um, maybe trying to get that app on the App Store, see if I can figure out that certificate stuff. And then maybe I'll start looking at actually leveraging past content that I have. Like I've talked about the Pride course multiple times, try and actually upload that, see if I can hire somebody now that I have money from working. I can hire somebody to go in and actually like edit this stuff so it's, good quality content, trim out anything that's unnecessary. What else could I have them do? Yeah, add like thumbnails, do like SEO descriptions and titles, all of that kind of stuff. I think that would be potentially a good use of my time. Um, and then, yeah, and then that can kind of prepare me to have a bit of an audience potentially, for the rest of that stuff, for the app itself. Yeah. So that's kind of the situation. Not super happy about my progress lately, and not and it's like it's kind of looking like progress is going to slow down even more in this, definitely this next week, and then those following weeks. Hopefully I can get a little bit of that more strenuous or extraneous stuff, the more like out there stuff, gathering my stuff, getting it online, making my Upwork portfolio. I can get all of that in order. That way, once I have my apartment, I've moved into my next place, I'm able to really sit down and get moving, making some real progress on this app before my classes start. Then when classes start, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get like some kind of coding job before then, but we'll see. And then when classes start, it's just gonna be a matter of balancing like exercise, classes, making progress on my app or figuring out what my actual next venture will be. I don't know if I want this to be the main product slash service that I build on. Maybe I'm going to do a habit tracker that incorporates an LLM feature. Maybe I was thinking about reaching out to Robert Greene and saying like, hey, check out this app that I made about stoicism. Let's do something, but for all of your content and app revenue, split that shit 50-50. I think that could be a really cool, really cool opportunity. Maybe like reach out to the publisher or something. I could do the same with Ryan Holiday, especially since stoicism is like right up his alley, and maybe make like a digital LLM version of the Daily Stoic. I don't know. I think those could be two really cool options, but those are kind of out there. That's if they respond and if I can, get this app onto the freaking app store. Otherwise, either continue to develop the Stoic Mentor app. I could create an AI automation agency, but again, that would be a much larger time commitment than just working on my app some more, because that can kind of happen whenever. In AAA, I feel like I would have to spend a lot of time doing cold outreaches, making connections, trying to find people to develop an LLM application for. And then there's like a degree of, I'd have to set up a whole real online business around that. So I don't know. And then getting some freelance work, I think would be the ideal. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's next. Don't love the progress lately. I also feel like I've been very undisciplined recently, especially while I was working construction, this section. The last few times it's always been like, I get out there and it's just like I freaking go as hard as I can every day, and I like exert myself completely, and I just like I focus more on like getting every task that they give me done in as fast a manner as possible. Like I pretend I'm on like cocaine. I'm just freaking going. And this time it's not like I was slacking off by any means. Even this time some of the employees were like, wow, you're getting stuff done. But it was like, I don't know. I felt like I was definitely not doing my best. I was kind of just getting what I needed to get done and listening to audiobooks. Granted, most of what I was doing this time was just cleanup. So I really, it's like I'm walking around picking up trash, throwing it in the dump truck, taking it to the dump. No one's really too concerned about that. On the days where I did have like real work, like, hey, move all these boxes over there. It was like, all right, let's get these freaking boxes moved. But for the most part, I was really just in my head listening to audiobooks, processing those, and not exerting myself completely. And then my post-work grind was always kind of slacking. I was hanging out with friends more, which was reasonable. They were middle school friends who I may never, I'll see them again, but not for a long time. We're all going our separate direction. Middle school childhood friends, ever since I was 4 till I was like 14, 15. And then even till now, we're all still friends. So spend a lot more time with them. Whether I should have prioritized that or not, who knows? I think it was worth it. Again, a lot of the online business stuff is kind of like background noise right now, I guess. Especially because whenever I submit my app, I have to like wait for a response and then go figure that out. Anyway, that's it. That's that. That's my situation right now. That's the current state of affairs. Maybe I'll make a little fun music video or vlog style video of this swing dance convention that I'm going to. Do like interviews with friends, stuff like that. Could be fun. We'll see. And then see how things go. I'm gonna go check out why my app got rejected again. So wish me luck.